Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be talking about Love Island USA Season 8, Episode 12. So we start off with Zach and Kata in the hideaway. There's not really much to say about that. I mean, like, what can you really say about the hideaway? They were there. They had a time. Yeah, but one thing I will say, he asked her in the hideaway if she would kill him if he explores a bombshell. Kata didn't say anything about it this episode, but I'm like, that's such a strange thing to say in that like situation at that time. Zach and Kata didn't really have much going on this episode, so that's all I have on them. But I do want to talk about this Anaya and Casey situation. Um, that was kind of an ongoing theme throughout this episode. So Anaya asked Trinity for advice on the situation because she told her that Casey thinks of her like a safe option, or she feels like Casey thinks of her as a safe option. And Trinity tells her that it's not that serious because he is like prioritizing her and he didn't pursue Soul for a reason, so that shows that he's interested in her. Anaya says that she feels differently though, because she says that she knows that Casey likes her, but she doesn't feel that way because he says stuff that contradicts what he's telling her sometimes. She also mentions how she'll try to have serious conversations with him and he'll like joke around or laugh, which was a problem in the last episode because she pulls him to have a serious conversation and he's like laughing at her. And she's like, "Why are you laughing? Like, let's be serious." And I can understand why she feels that way. I feel like they're just like two conflicting personalities. Even in the beginning, I was saying like I don't think that their vibes would match, but I changed my opinion on that as like I was seeing more of them and their connection grow. But I'm back to thinking that way. I also do feel like Anaya is like making it a problem where there's not one. Like she I don't know. I just feel like Casey has shown her that he likes her since the beginning. Like there's some things that I understand why she feels the type of way about, but him not liking her and her like not being his first option or whatever, I don't think that's a problem because he's liked her since the beginning. There's also a lot of drama surrounding the Corbin and Kinsey, Melanie, Caleb situation. Corbin and Kinsey have a chat on the dock, and I am truly tired of this connection. Like, I think they're really boring. I am. I don't see them lasting very long, but I do think they gave a lot of drama this episode, and I appreciate them for that. But I just feel like all their conversations are the same. And I think with Melanie, even though I don't think him and Melanie are going to last very long either, I think with Melanie, I saw way more of his personality come out than anything I've seen with Kinsey. Like, I'm going to be honest, I did not like Corbin at all because I felt like he was an F boy who was just boring. But these last episodes with Melanie, I feel like I've actually, like, am starting to see something interesting out of him. Anyway, Corbin tells Kinsey that the ball's in her court and she's confused, but I feel like he's not wrong because she's the one who's kind of stuck in between him and Caleb and she's not really making a decision there. They both say that it's hard for them to explore like different connections, like him with Melanie and her with Caleb, because they still have feelings for each other. And then Corbin honestly shocks me because he, like I said, gave very much F boy. And then this episode and like the last episode, Kinsey will like ask him to kiss her and he won't kiss her. So it's just very interesting to me. Was not expecting that from him. However, I was thinking about it and I was like, he might be doing this on purpose. So it's like, oh, I'm not gonna kiss you, so you want me more. Like, that's what I was thinking, but I don't know if that's actually what he's doing. I do feel bad for Caleb though because he's literally got no other connections, which is kind of his fault because he only really talked to Kinsey. He doesn't really have any other connections, so he's watching this Corbin and Kinsey situation play out. He can't really do anything about it, and they're basically like playing in his face. Like I don't care that bad because this is Love Island and it's kind of his fault that he didn't explore anyone else. But he's just sitting at the counter alone watching them like be really affectionate and her sitting on his lap and it's just like wow, like you need to go do something. Caleb and Kinsey do talk after she talks to Corbin, and he did originally think that she kissed him on the dock, and she clarifies that she didn't. But it already kind of made like a mess because he thought that they kissed each other and then he told Melanie. So then Melanie didn't sleep in the same bed as Corbin and it was like a whole thing. But it got clarified later. Then we still have this Casey and Anaya situation going on. Casey talks to Corbin about the situation, and he's basically irritated because he's trying to talk to Anaya, and Anaya's saying like, "Oh, I don't want to talk," and he's saying like it basically just needs to be dealt with. Casey's also mad because he says that he's a very physical person and he wants to be more physical with Anaya, but Anaya wants to take it slow, and he called her a grandma, which he is so strange for that. Like, why would you even say that? Like, it actually was so weird to me. Um, but I said like I don't think that KC and Anaya really match each other very well, just because like he's very like funny and goofy and not very serious, and I think Anaya is more chill and laid back and wants someone more serious. I also didn't think that Anaya liked Casey as much in the beginning, um, compared to how much he liked her because he originally chose her and she didn't choose him, and then she said like her first two options were Sincere and Gabriel. So, or not Gabriel, Sean, Sincere and Sean. But now I do think it's the other way around because I think KC's kind of being weird and Anaya is showing more interest in KC. So, yeah, we'll see. Then Melanie and Corbin talk finally. Melanie, I think, is kind of doing herself a disservice because it seems like she's still interested in Sincere, but she hasn't talked to him, and then she hasn't talked to Corbin at all. Like she isn't even really trying to build a connection with him. Then Anaya and Casey talk. This is the first conversation that they have this episode, but Casey brings up the fact that Anaya said that he's too like he's not serious and he's jokes too much, and he says that that's basically just the way he is and he can't really change that, so he doesn't know what to do and how to make her feel better about the situation. And I says that she feels like it's okay for her to ask him to be like serious for 5 minutes so that they can have a real conversation, which I think is valid. Like if you're joking the whole time and the situation is serious, like you need to be serious. Then Casey says he felt disrespected because she said that she felt like he was just with her to coast through another week. Basically, the whole safe option thing that she was talking about this episode. Then he brings up how she's always been his first option, even though he wasn't her first option, because he originally picked her when she didn't pick him. Then Anaya gets upset because he basically just like flipped the whole conversation around on her, like out of nowhere. And I don't think she's wrong because it was like she was talking about how she feels, and then he kind of said like, "Oh, like, well, this is how I feel," and didn't really validate her feelings. I do think she's overreacting about some things. Like I don't know exactly what she's looking for because it just seems like she didn't want him to explore Soul, so he didn't explore Soul, and then she got mad at him for not exploring Soul, and then now she wants him to explore Soul. So it is kind of confusing, but I think it's just the fact that it's like the words that he's using, like the language he's using, like why he didn't explore Soul, and her thinking that she was just a safe option and she wants to be picked for her and not because it's just an uncomfortable thing to move out of a couple that you're comfortable with. I also do think that she is like misunderstanding him and in her head a little bit more. Like I think a conversation would fix this, and she did walk away from the conversation, but I also think the way the conversation was going was not very good, and he's not really good at having conversations from what I've seen, just because like he flipped this whole conversation around, and then the last conversation she tried to have with him he just wasn't very serious. So like I said, I just don't think that they're a good match, and I don't know if there's anything that can be done at this point. Then Sincere talks to Soul, and he tells her that he felt guilty about not talking to Melanie after the recoupling and just checking in. And he lets her know that he's gonna pull Melanie for a chat, basically just to clarify things. And he makes it kind of seem like it's gonna be a goodbye chat because he says he wants to be in a couple with Sincere or with Soul, and yeah, he doesn't mention wanting to explore Melanie anymore. But Sincere brings her to the speakeasy and then asks her how she's feeling. Then says he doesn't want to forget about their connection, didn't want to close the door. Um, Says he misses her. She says she misses him. They both say that it's been like hard to explore their connections with like their respective couples. just because they miss each other and they still like want to be in a couple with each other. But yeah, I mean, Sincere does not surprise me. Like he told Soul one thing and then is having a chat with Melanie that's completely different than how he brought it up with Soul. He did the same thing with Melanie when he was exploring Soul, so it doesn't shock me. But it's like at some point it's gonna catch up with him. I honestly don't think Soul is the type of person to like let somebody play in her face like that. Like I think if she sees the way that it's going and him telling Melanie one thing and not telling her that, she'll just end the connection and explore someone else. Like I don't see her staying with Sincere if he's doing that. There's a little small section on Gabriel and Jen where Trinity and Kate are asking him how he feels about her, and Gabriel saying he sees himself walking out of the villa with Jen because he really likes her and they have a lot in common. I think it's too soon to say that. He says it's too soon to say that. I think it's too soon for any of the couples to say that because it hasn't even like Casa hasn't even happened yet. I have my opinions on them. I don't think that they're gonna last. I don't think that they're gonna work out, but maybe I'll be proved wrong. Okay, now I'm going back to the Kinsey, Corbin, Caleb situation. Kinsey's mad that Corbin isn't kissing her. She's saying that it's hurting her feelings, and I don't really get it. I don't get it because she got mad at Corbin for trying to kiss Melanie. Then she got mad at Melanie, and yeah, I just don't understand why it's like okay for her to do something, but then when someone else does it, it's like a big issue. She also tells Jen and Soul that she's like having a hard time exploring Caleb, and Jen and Soul tell her that Caleb has kind of like put a guard up and stopped like putting an effort basically just because he's kind of worried about her connection with Corbin. Then Corbin pulls Kinsey for a chat, and she tells him that she's upset because she feels like he's sparing Melanie's feelings and not hers. So that means that he likes Melanie more than her. I don't get it. But Corbin kisses Kinsey, and then she says that she's not going to say anything, and he's not going to say anything. And I'm like, oh wow, that's how we're moving now. Okay. Um, are they wrong for that? Is she wrong for that after all of the getting mad at Corbin and Melanie for exploring each other? Yes. Is it good TV? Also, yes. Anyways, that's all I have for tonight. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for my other Love Island videos.